Been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, Achilles and his gold, Hercules and his gifts, and Spider-Man's control, and Batman with his fist. And clearly I don't see myself upon that list. But she said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody I can kiss. I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. Oh, I want something just like this. I want something just like this. I've been reading books of old, the legends and the myths, the testaments they told, the moon and its eclipse, and Superman unrolls the suit before he lived. But I'm not the kind of person that it fits. She said, where'd you wanna go? How much you wanna risk? I'm not looking for somebody with some superhuman gifts, some superhero, some fairy tale bliss, just something I can turn to, somebody I can miss.
Countdown to showtime.
This is my time, I've waited long enough, I'm taking my moment.
Oregon FFA, get on your feet, clap your hands as we introduce the 2023-2024 Oregon FFA State Officer Team. From Joseph, the land of views, wildlife, and no stoplights, comes your state sentinel, Mary Teal. 5 minutes from California, you can find her surrounded by potatoes, sunshine, good vibes. Give it up for your state reporter, Alicia Venegas. All the way from the village of Elton, powered by dad jokes, Dutch, and competition, she's your state treasurer, Camille Peters. During this Tillamook guys free time, you can find him fishing for hogs, but this week he's fishing for greatness. Let's welcome your state secretary, Ryan Mazzei. From Hermiston, she can be found paddling the Columbia or hands up high in a church pew. She's your state vice president, Kylie Temple. This Energizer Bunny hopped in from just down the road in Bend. She's a head honcho, your state president, J.L. Crookshanks.
7, 8, 9, 10, you're gone. It's a knockout, you ain't getting up from. Faster, stronger, all that's longer. This is no joke, I came to conquer.
By the rain, darling, I'm flying across the plain, and I'm only thinking about one thing. Now I got 400 horses by the reins. I've been missing me some you, darling, I know you miss me too. I left them city lights in my rear view. Yeah, but I've been missing me some you. It don't matter where I go, I always find my way back home. After all, my heart belongs to you. I've been here and I've been far.
Convention Hall will come to order. We are now holding the 4th General Session at the 96th Oregon FFA State Convention. Madam Vice President, are all officers at their stations?
I shall call the roll of officers, determine if they're at their stations, and report back to you, Madam President. The Sentinel, stationed by the door. Your duties there?
Through this door pass many friends of the FFA. It is my duty to see that the door is open to our friends at all times and that they are welcome. I care for the meeting room and paraphernalia. I strive to keep the room comfortable and assist the President in maintaining order.
The reporter. The reporter is stationed by the flag. Why by the flag? As the flag covers the United States of America, so I strive to inform the people in order that every man, woman, and child may know that the FFA is a national organization that reaches from the state of Alaska to the Virgin Islands and from the state of Maine to Hawaii. The treasurer,
stationed at the emblem of Washington.
Your duties there?
I keep a record of receipts and disbursements just as Washington kept his farm accounts, carefully and accurately. I encourage thrift among the members and strive to build up our financial standings through savings and investments. George Washington was better able to serve his country because he was financially independent.
The secretary,
stationed by the ear of corn.
Your duties there?
I keep an accurate record of all meetings and correspond with other secretaries wherever corn is grown and FFA members meet.
The advisor,
here by the owl.
why stationed by the owl?
The owl is a time-honored emblem of knowledge and wisdom. Being older than the rest of you, I am asked to advise you from time to time as a need arises. I hope that my advice is always based on true knowledge and ripened with wisdom. Madam Vice President, why do you keep a plow at your station?
The plow is the symbol of labor and tillage of the soil. Without labor, neither knowledge nor wisdom can accomplish much. My duties require me to assist at all times in directing the work of our organization. I preside over meetings in the absence of our president, whose place is beneath the rising sun.
Why is the president so stationed?
The rising sun is the token of a new era in agriculture. If we will follow the leadership of our president, we shall be led out of the darkness of selfishness into the glorious sunlight of brotherhood and cooperation. Madam President, all officers are at their stations.
Thank you, Madam Vice President. The Secretary will call the roll of members.
There are 2,454 members and guests present, Madam President.
Thank you. FFA members, why are we here? To practice brotherhood, honor agricultural opportunities and responsibilities, and develop those qualities of leadership which an FFA member should possess. May we accomplish our purposes. I now declare this session duly open for the transaction of any business or attention to any matters which may properly be presented.
The thing that makes my advisor, Mr. Crawford, the greatest is definitely his ability to be able to teach any student that comes his way. He definitely knows when he can help us out and when he needs to pull back because we're fully confident in what we're doing. In the past 2 years that I've been a part of his ag classes, he's taught me how to be confident, how to be a leader, and how to always push through and persevere. Thank you, Mr. Crawford.
She loves old country music, and if she had $1 for every time she accidentally lit her hair on fire, she'd be $2 richer. She's your state treasurer, the one, the only Camille Peters. You can always count on him for a dad joke, and if he could, he would live in a sportsman's warehouse. He's your state secretary, Ryan Mazzei.
Start the fire.
What are you doing, Camille?
Well, Ryan, I'm finishing setting up our obstacle course.
Oh, fun. Why?
To help us train for the Oregon FFA Olympics, obviously.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Good thing you remembered.
Don't worry, I've got your back. All right, it looks like we're ready to give it a trial run. You up to it?
I'll do my best.
Okay, let's see it.
DJ Khaled! All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Got money on my mind, I can never get enough. And every time I step up in the building, everybody hands go up. And they stay there, and they stay there, and they stay there.
Well, how'd I do?
Well, Ryan, let's just say we've got our work cut out for us.
Okay, but what was my time? It had to be close to a world record.
Maybe the world record for worst time ever.
Oh man, I really thought I nailed it. Guess we better do some more training.
Training? That sounds like a lot of work. It's day 3 of convention and I'm exhausted. I don't know if I have the energy for more training.
We're never gonna win the FFA Olympics at this rate.
Wait a minute. We can't just give up. We've been waiting all year for this moment.
You're right. But if we really want to train to be the greatest, we're going to need to overcome some obstacles. And to do that, we're going to need self-discipline.
I wonder what it would look like if we had self-discipline. Ryan, this is going to be awesome. We are totally going to win.
I'm excited too. But if we really want to stay disciplined and be the greatest, we're going to need some help.
You're right. The good news is we have lots of talent here at convention to help us learn how to use self-discipline and be the greatest. But before we get started, what are some other obstacles we might face?
Oregon FFA, take 10 seconds and think of an obstacle you're facing right now. Maybe it's a competition you're nervous about, a class you're struggling with, or a sport that you're not feeling super confident in.
Whatever it is, having the self-discipline to persevere through difficult circumstances is always helpful. Today, we'll learn how to overcome this obstacle, but we'll also learn more about how we can all use self-discipline.
Whether it's uncertainty about trying a new CDE or nerves about that upcoming school dance, all of these obstacles can get in the way of achieving our goals. But if we stay disciplined, we can keep putting in the work, even if it isn't always easy.
And when we overcome the obstacles standing in the way of our goals, it helps us to be the greatest.
All of the people we will be talking to this morning have truly used self-discipline to get where they are today.
Who exactly will we be hearing from, Ryan?
This morning, we'll be hearing from the president of Wilco Stores, Mr. T.J. Colson, recognizing our state alumni council, announcing the results of alumni council awards, announcing the results of sophomore public speaking, awarding Washington Leadership Conference scholarships, and meeting our national chapter award recipients.
Don't worry, there's more. Then we'll hear a keynote address from your National FFA President, Amara Jackson, present our chapter portfolio and book awards, and hear the retiring address of your Oregon FFA State Sentinel, Miss Mary Teal, titled Quality Grit.
None of this would be possible without our session's star partner, Demeter Ag.
With a lineup like this, I can't wait to learn more about overcoming obstacles. Let's get to it.
To me, greatness is anything that you find joy or happiness in. Like art, I find, like I do art all the time. So anything that, or anyone that does art, I would think of it as like cool or like really great, because I just really find joy into that subject.
To kick off our training, we'll need to hear from an expert. Mr. T.J. Colson attended Oregon State University and began working at Wilco in 2003. Over the years, Mr. Colson has held many titles and helped take on challenges at Wilco. Mr. Colson is now the president of Wilco Stores, but his accomplishments don't stop there. He is also the chair-elect of the Oregon FFA Foundation Board of Directors and a lifelong supporter of the Blue Jacket. Please help me welcome to the stage President of Wilco Stores, Mr. T.J. Colson.
Greetings and good morning, Oregon FFA. It's an absolute honor to stand here before you today. And with our time together this morning, I thought I'd share 3 quick stories. One of Wilco's FFA Forever program and how it came to be. Next, we'll take a brief look at my FFA story and how the organization has had an impact on me. And lastly, we'll discuss the topic of generational farming and what the future holds for us. Now, let's look at the who, what, when, where, and why of Wilco's FFA Forever program. It was longer than 10 years ago that the future of Oregon's FFA and ag education programs were facing an uncertain future. State funding to continue supporting ag ed and FFA had dried up. The Oregon FFA Foundation was not going to let these vital programs, which produce some of the most amazing leaders and technically trained and experienced youth around, from having the opportunity to feed the future of our state, country, and the world. FFA students play an important role in seeding our agribusiness workforce today. Facing a mountain of uncertainty, the FFA Foundation Board of Directors crafted a sponsorship and donor program and set out to find partners who shared in the common interests of protecting Oregon's ag education and FFA programs. One of those stops led them to Wilco. After a few conversations and with a clear goal in mind, Wilco's leadership team set out to build the framework of what a sponsorship giving program would look like. In a true cooperative fashion, the new program would rely on the community of folks for success. This is where Wilco's FFA Forever program was born. And like a newborn baby calf, it didn't take long to get its legs under itself and gain strength. Because of you, our customers, many of which are in the room today, and I know that, and our team members, some who are also in the room today, and with the full support from our co-op member owners, and with the help of Wilco's vendor partners, Wilco's FFA campaign has raised more than $2 million for FFA over the last decade. We're also excited to continue our commitment to supporting FFA, and we look forward to many more decades of success. Folks often ask, why so much support for FFA? I mean, come on, look around, right? What other youth, leadership, and technical development program in the world can get more than 2,000 students or young people to dress in a blue corduroy jacket that dates back to before many of us were even in this room? In all seriousness, the why is simple. Part of the FFA creed states, I believe in the future of agriculture. At Wilco, we believe in the future of agriculture. So much so that our mission is to strengthen agriculture and rural living lifestyles. For the who, that's simple. It's each and every one of you here today. It's your chapter mates who weren't able to join us today, and it's for every FFA student who came before us and those yet to suit up in that blue jacket. While the mission is clear and we have numerous layers to the FFA Forever program, including our chapter grant program for every chapter in the state, there's one group of folks out there, and if it wasn't for them doing what they love, none of this would be possible. It's easy to write checks, but you need someone to cash those checks. Those folks are our amazing advisors, ag teachers, and educational faculty members. If you're one of those folks in the room today, please stand to be recognized. You are where the rubber meets the road. Now let me share a little bit about my FFA story. Yep, that's it. Believe it or not, I actually was not an FFA. My exposure to the FFA started in 2011 at the Hermiston FFA State Convention, where I was welcomed on stage to present Wilco's first FFA Forever check. Quite a astonishing experience if you've not been prepared for that. But that said, I do have a family member. My brother is an alum of the Crook County FFA, and I know the Crook County FFA chapter is strong. I just never got involved, and dang it, I wish I had. Today and now, after my involvement with this fantastic program, I realized how much I just missed out. The additional education provided, the contests, state and national conventions, and those lifelong friendships are all the experiences and things you will share together and forever. Although Oregon FFA welcomed me into the family and you've adopted me as an honorary member, I still miss that opportunity to share that blue and gold jacket with you. So why do I share that story with you? It's to illustrate how everyone involved and how can have an impact on FFA in the future of agriculture. To further help us see that impact, I'm going to need some help from each of you in the room. So please be prepared to participate by standing when asked and remain standing until the end. This only should take another 45 minutes or so. You can laugh, it's funny. All right. Generational farming. It's an important topic today and something I know a little bit about here recently. In most cases, not all, about the only way one can be involved with farming is to A, have a family or ranch passed to them, B, work for someone else who owns the ranch or farm, or C, win the lotto. The cost of entry and the ever-changing regulations makes it difficult to attract folks who have an interest in the farming or ranching industry. That said, I know each person involved in FFA, whether wearing the blue jacket or not, can and will make a difference. So if we can bring the lights up slightly, I just want to ask if your family has a multi-generational farm or ranch, or otherwise you grew up on a farm and ranch, please stand and remain standing. If you have a family member, parent, grandparent, aunt, uncle, brother, sister, really any family member in your family that was involved in FFA, please stand and remain standing. And if this is your first, second, or third, or whatever number state convention, and you are sitting here today in the convention hall, please stand and remain standing. Now that should be everybody. Folks, look around. What do you see? You may see something different than I, but I will share what I see. I see the future of agriculture. I see where the me becomes the we, where the I is now the us, and the mine is ours. I see a shared vision. I see a deep-rooted connection and passion for agriculture. More importantly, I see 2,400 students standing shoulder to shoulder, proudly wearing the blue jacket, and together, and like the cooperative system, all working to improve agriculture and the communities they serve, regardless of background and experience. Every person standing in this room has the same opportunity to have an impact on the future of agriculture, and it started with those who came before us and those yet to get involved. And most importantly, it starts with each of us here today. Members and guests, the future of agriculture is bright from where I stand. I encourage everyone involved, whether it be to get involved, whether it be at your local, state, or national level. For our guests watching or attending here today, and to learn more about how you can impact Oregon FFA, please visit OregonFFA.com. Ladies and gentlemen, please give yourself a massive round of applause for being here today. Have an absolutely wonderful rest of your convention and go be the greatest. Thank you.
Mr. Colson, thank you for your continued support of Oregon FFA and your service to the Oregon FFA Foundation Board. Your words of wisdom are truly inspiring, and we appreciate all that you do. Please accept this token of our appreciation for not only being here today, but for all the work you do for our organization. As he exits the stage, let's give Mr. Colson a huge round of applause. Thank you. You know, Camille, having an expert like Mr. Colson kick off our session with some life-learned wisdom and words of experience is a great way to get our training started.
You're right. Hearing from an expert is always helpful, but it might be good to hear from a variety of experienced individuals.
I think you're right. Luckily, I saw some old people. They were hanging out backstage.
Ryan, I think the word you're looking for is wise. We call them wise, not old.
Tomato, tomato, whatever you want to refer to them as, the State Alumni Council has been helping Oregon FFA for years. The members of this council work tirelessly to support chapter programs across the state and to help raise funds for scholarships. They dedicate their time to ensure every member of Oregon FFA has the opportunity to thrive. Let's give them a round of applause.
And now for your State Alumni Council, President Debbie Price, President-elect Tom Rutledge, Past President Eric Karn, Treasurer and Secretary Michelle Palacios, Reporter and Regional Vice President Charlie Hall, Regional Vice President Tim Thacker, Regional Vice President Cliff Bergstrom, Regional Vice President Steve Mathias, Regional Vice President Pete Trick, Oregon Ag Teacher Association Representative Brenda Fearson, FFA Association Representative Lee Lech, FFA Foundation Representative Betsy Hartley.
Thank you for all that you do to help support Oregon FFA and its members. Without your hard work, these opportunities would not be possible. As they exit the stage, please help me thank our State Alumni Council one last time.
Hey, Camille.
What's up?
So I was thinking, our alumni council is a great example of what happens when we use self-discipline to not only help ourselves be the greatest, but those around us as well. I think we need to award their dedication.
Well, you're in luck, because that's exactly what we're going to do.
These alumni award recipients are experts at helping overcome their obstacles and achieve their goals.
The Outstanding Achievement Award aims to recognize alumni members who go above and beyond when it comes to supporting our organization. They have shown their support for FFA, agricultural education, and FFA alumni.
The Outstanding Alumni Chapter Award recognizes alumni chapters who have had exceptional accomplishments and are continuing to provide constant support.
Now let's hear the results of our Alumni Council Awards.
This morning, we recognize Mrs. Val Stockhoff as the 2024 Oregon Outstanding Alumni Individual. At any given time, you can find Val at the school volunteering her time and/or resources to help students. Val has been a member of the Union FFA alumni since it was established and has held many offices, including president. She is currently serving as the secretary-treasurer. Val supports local chapters through volunteering, dedicating so many hours that it can't be counted. Val, thank you for your selfless actions, wanting to make a difference, and always doing what is best for students, advisors, and your community. The FFA and Ag program at Union is extremely lucky to have you as a dedicated and supportive member, and we are excited to recognize you for all of your hard work. Congratulations, Val Stockhoff, the 2024 Oregon FFA Alumni Outstanding Individual. And the 2024 Oregon FFA Alumni Outstanding Chapter Award goes to the Union FFA Alumni and Supporters. The Union FFA Alumni and Supporters Chapter held many fundraisers this past year. These funds are used to direct student chapter support and student scholarships, including academic scholarships, and funds to help send FFA members to the Washington Leadership Conference. The alumni chapter supports the chapter financially by helping with the upfront costs of booking travel to National Convention and provides a meal for the chapter while at both state and national convention. Congratulations to the Union FFA alumni and supporters on being selected as the Oregon FFA Alumni Outstanding Chapter for 2024. As they exit the stage, let's give them one last round of applause.
FFA has helped me be the greatest by taking my liking of animals and turning it into knowing about animals and being able to care for them.
You are smart! You are talented! You are beautiful!
You are crazy. What are you doing?
Well, Ryan, I read an article about how positive affirmations can help you persevere through difficult times. So, I was giving it a shot.
Oh, right. How does that help?
You know, if I tell myself all these positive, self-motivating things, it'll help me feel inspired, ready to take on a challenge.
So it's like a pep talk.
Exactly. I knew you would get it.
Okay, so I'm all for trying things in new and creative ways, but I'm pretty sure for it to be a pep talk, there has to be somebody else to, talk to.
Okay, point taken. But if I can't give myself a pep talk, who's going to?
I might have an idea. How about our sophomore public speakers?
They'd be great at that. In the sophomore public speaking contest, sophomore members are tasked with researching current agricultural topics and crafting and creating a 4 to 6 minute speech about a chosen agricultural topic. Members must then present their speech to a panel of judges, followed by a round of questions. Each member will introduce themselves with their name and their chapter. They will then present a short excerpt from their speech.
Hi, my name is Grace Miller from the Malala chapter. Looking out over the fields of wheat swaying in the wind reminds me of the ocean waves, and gazing upon thousands of acres of bright yellow sunflowers is a true sight to be seen. My family farms over 40,000 acres in southeastern Montana, and our family farm is one of my favorite places to visit. So when I was thinking what would be a great current agricultural issue to bring in front of you today, whom better to go to than the people that are doing the living and the dying in the fields today? My family. When I talked to them, they gave me many concerns, some of which I am sure we will hear others talk about today, but the one that stood out to me the most was the shrinking number of agricultural workers in the United States.
My name is Chase Stoddard from the Silverton FFA chapter. June 4th, 1946, President Harry S. Truman picks up his pen and signs the National School Lunch Act, effectively enabling the National School Lunch Program and beginning a rich new era of American nutrition, which will feed the future. Throughout the decades, we have gradually built on this milestone. But one specific opportunity for development stands out today: incorporating local foods, farm to cafeteria, into school meals. Thank you.
My name is Madison Love, and I'm from the Crater FFA chapter. The Snake River is home to stately pine trees, crashing rapids, glowing lights from surrounding homes, and miles of farmland covered with dusty brown wheat far in the distance. It is also home to 4 increasingly controversial dams. The controversy surrounding the proposed removal of these 4 dams on the lower Snake River to improve salmon runs has simmered for decades, but soon might end in a disastrous conclusion.
My name is Caroline Kaler, and I'm from the North Lake FFA chapter. Farming is life. The public must know the importance of agriculture because life revolves around it. 165 people, and you are fed by one American farmer. I am honored to have come from a farming background and know that my community has done its part and will continue to feed the U.S. and the rest of the world. Please join me in educating the public by teaching the next generation why agriculture is essential and exhibit to them that on behalf of every farmer and rancher in Lake County, across the nation, and around the world, we farm, you eat. Thank you.
I'm Kaylee Christie from the Riverside FFA chapter. The confirmation bias of today's modern era has greatly affected agribusinesses across the world. Through one of its most popular public forums, social media, rumors and allegations can easily be formed from misinformation and pressured ideologies. The herd mentality of these social groups online can push businesses away from defending themselves. There are steps that we can work towards weakening this empowerment, and although it isn't perfect, it is the best that we can do. All that we, as businesses, can hope for is a better relationship with their customers.
Hello, my name is Camila Castillon-Gordian, and I am from the Sutherland FFA chapter. After a long day of work, you come home and are looking forward to your delicious meal. You sit down and suddenly start to think about where your food may have come from. We may automatically think of farms. But how often do we acknowledge the other countries that our produce may have been imported from? Although the United States trades commodities with multiple countries, Mexico remains to be one of our largest trading partners. Thank you.
I'm Addie Saunders from the Vel FFA chapter. We live in a world of seemingly endless amounts of energy, yet the land and resources used to produce this are quickly disappearing. As noted by the United Nations, energy is central to nearly every major challenge and opportunity the world faces today. The solution to these challenges come by implementing more efficient and sustainable technologies. Nuclear power is one option that agriculturists can support to have abundant energy for all while preserving our farmland. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Bridget Allen, and I am from the Tillamook FFA chapter. Companies that are selling products know exactly what that feeling is and strategize to achieve it. When a company finds a certain campaign that disrupts the marketplace and increases company sales velocity, they understandably capitalize on it. Comparative campaigning is a common marketing technique used heavily within the agricultural community. However, these sales tactics aren't always the best for the companies in the long run and can affect them in negative ways that may not have been foreshadowed. Within agriculture, advocacy is huge. When companies use this marketing style, it can cause stigmas and problems for the industry as a whole and the brand within the advertisement.
Great job, everyone. Help us give a round of applause for our sponsor, Oregon State Grange and the CHS Foundation, on behalf of tonight's awards. And now for the results. In fourth place, from Vail, Addie Saunders. In third place, from Silverton, Chase Stoddard. In second place, from Crater, Madison Love. And in first place, from Tillamook, Bridget Allen. As they exit the stage, let's congratulate all of our sophomore public speakers and thank the Oregon State Grange and the CHS Foundation for sponsoring this event.
FFA has helped me be the greatest because it has built my confidence, prepared me to be a better communicator, a leader, and has prepared me for career success.
Wow, that pep talk was very needed.
I agree. Sometimes life can get so busy that it's easy to get caught up on everyday obstacles. But a good pep talk helps inspire us to stay focused.
You're right. When life gets busy, our obstacles can seem impossible to overcome. But if we stay disciplined, we can keep moving forward. Think back to that obstacle from earlier. When life gets busy, do you keep moving forward, or do you let the stress around that obstacle totally consume you?
When we stay focused on overcoming the obstacles standing in the way of our goals, it helps us move past them much quicker.
You know, speaking of being busy, our National Chapter Award recipients have no shortage of things they do. National Chapter Awards would not be possible without our sponsor, USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service.
The National Chapter Award Program aims to recognize chapters that actively implement the strategies and mission of our organization. To qualify for a state or national award, chapters must complete at least 15 activities, one for each of the 5 quality standards in each of the 3 divisions. Additionally, chapters must also meet the minimum requirements as outlined in the National Chapter Quality Standards. These chapters are a shining example of what Oregon FFA has to offer, and we commend them for their dedication.
And now, for the results. Receiving bronze, Harrisburg. Receiving silver, Henley. Receiving gold, Union. Astoria. Sutherland, North Clackamas, Elgin, Imbler, Lost River, Joseph, Central, and Heppner. Thank you again to our award sponsor, USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service. Let's congratulate our National Chapter Award winners.
Man, those National Chapter Award recipients sure do know a thing or two about self-discipline.
They definitely do, but now that you mention it, I think there's someone else backstage that knows a thing or two about using self-discipline to overcome obstacles.
Really? Who?
Our Washington Leadership Conference scholarship recipients.
Oh, of course.
This year's recipients of the Washington Leadership Conference Scholarship are from Elkton, Kendall Holcomb, and from Astoria, Sam Moss. Washington Leadership Conference, held in Washington, D.C., gives members the opportunity to step out of their comfort zone, make new lifelong friends, and know how to create change as servant leaders. As they exit the stage, join me in congratulating these recipients.
You know, Camille, I'm starting to become a pretty big fan of pep talks.
Me too, but I've been wondering about something. Do you think pep talks wear off after a while?
I mean, I don't think so. Why? Are you starting to feel less inspired?
I mean, I don't think so. Are you?
Let me check. No, I'm doing good.
Good, good. But just in case, I have another pep talk up my sleeve. Next, we'll hear a keynote address from your National FFA president from the great state of Michigan, Amara Jackson.
So speak life to the deadest, darkest night. Speak life when the sun won't shine and you don't know why.
Hello, Oregon FFA! It feels so good to be here. My name's Amara, and I hail from Michigan, and it's an honor to come all the way over to the West Coast to spend this week with you all. But you've been introduced to me, and I want to get to know you. So on the count of 3, let's all shout out our name. Ready? 3, 2, 1, Amara! Good work, y'all. All right, and real quick, maybe we've met some new people here, and maybe we're sitting next to somebody new. So let's go ahead and tell the person sitting next to us, hey, or hi, or what's up. All right. You know, there's a lot of ways we can say a lot of different things. You know, maybe we just said hey or hi, or if we're cool, we said what's up. You know, there's also the whole controversy on whether it's Coke, soda, or pop. What do we say here in Oregon? Shout it out. Okay, I hear some mixed feelings out there. Little soda, little pop. Back home in Michigan, we say pop. So maybe we can find some common ground. But, you know, there's a lot of ways we can say a lot of different things. In fact, it's kind of funny. The first time I realized that, I was at dinner with a family, the Kim family, and after a crisp bowl of Caesar salad and a bowl of chili, we made our way to the couch. And we sit down, and the families were all surrounded, and we begin playing a game of telestrations. If we've never played telestrations before, it's essentially a combination of Pictionary and telephone. And so we have these little whiteboards, and we have to draw the best images possible based on what the word says. So we're going around passing our whiteboards, and it's clear that none of our fate is to be a drawer or an artist, and there's a lot of misinterpretations. And as we're playing, one of the daughters, Anna, eventually says, I'm never going to draw as good as them. I don't know why I'm not good at art. I'm supposed to be really good at art. And honestly, I felt her because I'm not good at art. And so we're sitting there, and
What her mom Robin says next really stuck out to me. She said, "Words of life, Anna. Words of life." Now I'm sitting there as a 20-year-old thinking, man, she just said that to a 5-year-old? What does words of life mean? So I asked Robin, what does words of life mean? She said, "Amara, words of life mean speaking words of hope and truth." See, that's the thing. Our words have power. Power to speak words of hope and truth. But they also have power to tear people down, to speak negativity, to hurt, to create narratives that aren't true. Whether we write, think, speak, or think words, we all use power of words. It's kind of funny because the first time I realized the power of my words, I was in a little bit of a smelly situation. You see, I'm 9 years old, I just got off the bus, and I'm running up the driveway to get home after a long day of school. How many of us know that familiar feeling of like, I'm finally home? Yeah. So that was this day I pull off my backpack, I lay my coat on the floor, and I take a deep breath. I'm home. And when I take a deep breath, I search for a familiar smell, one that someone might call our signature scent in the Jackson home, and that is a candle called Harvest Time. You see, my mom has this favorite candle from Harvest Time from a local store, and she burns this candle all the time, y'all. I swear, if she could buy out the store, she probably has. How many of us have our favorite scent? It's kind of a weird request, but maybe it's the smell of a campfire burning or a pie baking in the oven. Let's go ahead and close our eyes. And we're going to inhale our favorite scent. Ready? 3, 2, 1. And exhale. Open our eyes. You see, my mom would inhale Harvest Time. And so I'm 9 years old. I get home. I grab this candle. I'm like, oh, I know I'm not technically supposed to light candles and play with matches when my mom is at home, but like one time won't hurt, right? Like it'll feel really good, to come home to a scent that she loves, right? So, okay, I grab this candle, set it on the counter, grab a box of matches. No luck. That's always the hardest part. I strike again. I got it. Why as children are we so mesmerized with fire, especially when our parents aren't home? So I take the lit match, put it into the candle, and toss the lit match into the trash can. Cinnamon. Burnt plastic. This is the moment Amara knew she messed up. She just did exactly what she was told not to do. Over the next several hours, as I waited for my mom to get home, I spiraled. I was like, oh, she's going to think I'm so irresponsible. I should have never done that. She told me not to do that. She's probably going to kick me out of the house. I'm going to get in so much trouble. I continued on this spiral, telling myself this narrative that I was irresponsible, clumsy, that I didn't deserve to make this stupid mistake. And how does someone hide a burnt trash can anyways? And so when my mom gets home, smelling the smell of burnt plastic, she says, hey, Mira, you know what happened to this burnt trash can? So, of course, I blame it on my siblings. Who else blames it on their siblings, yeah? Yeah, right? Yeah. So I blame it on my siblings. I have 2 older siblings, my older sister, Aviana, and my older brother, Nick. And so I tell her, why don't you go ask Nick and Aviana? Later that night, she sits us down one-on-one and says, hey, do you know what happened to the burnt trash can? She asked me one more time, Amara, it's okay. Do you know what happened? It was me. I just wanted you to come home after a long day of work and smell the scent of Harvest Time and be happy. And instead, I made the silly mistake of tossing that lit match into the trash can. Amara, I just wanted you to learn. Just wanted you to learn. That might have been in elementary school when I was going on a spiral, telling myself a narrative wasn't true. But you see, I still have to work through the words that I tell myself. I still have to decide whether I speak words of hope and truth or falseness and negativity. You know, maybe we didn't get chapter office and we thought, I won't ever be liked. Maybe we didn't get into the college of our choice and think, I will never get the college education that I deserve. Maybe we're going through something really hard and we think, I can't even ask for help. I can't, I won't, I don't, I shouldn't. We tell ourselves these things every day, and they are not words of life. They do not speak words of truth and hope. Instead, we can use words of life, words like I can, I do, I want, I should. Because you deserve words of truth, hope, and life. Now, that 9-year-old eventually made it all the way to her freshman year of high school. How many freshmen do we have in the house? Woo! So, got my backpack. I'm suited up for my first freshman day. Something you should know about Amara is she just got on the varsity swim and dive team. I am so excited, you guys. I'm so proud. I got my black and gold swimsuit, got my swim cap, my goggles. I'm ready to go. I packed my book bag, and I'm packing up, ready for my first day of varsity practice. I arrive at my locker, pull my backpack off, begin unpacking it in my locker. When you know that feeling like you're the only object in the room, but like not for a good reason? It's kind of how I felt. So as I unpacked, I began to hear my name just a couple lockers down. I can't believe they let her on the swim team. Who would let a freshman like her, who looks like her, even be a part of our team? When she jumps off the diving board, she's going to make the biggest splash. Ouch. It was my first day of freshman year. I was supposed to be excited. It was a new start. Instead, I already had 2 strikes against me, and burns in my pride, and tears in my eyes. So I pick up my stuff, and I walk as far away from that moment as I could. All day I pondered, I could fire back. Next opportunity, I could get them back. I didn't know what to do. I was telling myself a narrative that maybe I shouldn't be on the team, that every time I walk in that locker room, are they only going to think about my appearance? That my skills or my talent or my knowledge isn't good enough? So that night when I got home, I shared with my mom what had happened. She said, Amara, you can't change the words that people use, but you can control the words that you use. Use words that build people up. So I pondered that evening, build people up. Build people up. I get to school the next day, and as I crossed paths with those girls, I decided I shouldn't fire back. That's not my responsibility. Because my mom reminded me that my words have power. And Robin told me that I can speak words of truth and hope. Now, I'm sure we've all been made fun of for something that we can't change, like what we wear or the house that we live in or the family that we were given. But I'm sure that we've also all made fun of someone for something that they can't change. I know that I have. And if I've learned anything, it's that if we can't change the one thing that we're criticizing in less than 10 seconds, like food in our teeth or dirt on our clothes, then we shouldn't say it. Those aren't words of life, and they don't speak words of truth and hope. So at the end of the day, when it's all said and done, day after day, when we're working through different challenges and obstacles, we can control our narrative. by using words like I can, I do, I want, and I should. And we can also use words that build people up because they deserve to hear words of life just as much as we do. So repeat these sentences after me because we can start today. Words have power. Words have life. Hear words of life from me to you. You matter and your words matter. I'm so honored to walk alongside you as we speak words of life together. Thank you.
Amara, thank you for your inspiring words. And thank you for all that you do to help support Oregon FFA and its members. As she exits the stage, please join me in thanking your National FFA President, Amara Jackson, one last time. Thank you.
Wow. After 2 incredible pep talks, I'm feeling double inspired.
Me too. I think you should prove it, though.
How would I do that?
I don't know. See if you have any new abilities or something.
Okay, give me some space. Whoa, I've never done that before.
That was totally tubular. It's great to see what can happen when we implement inspiring words and the mission of our organization into our home chapters. Our chapter portfolios and books help us keep track of these accomplishments. From minutes to money spent, our chapter portfolios, secretary's books, and treasurer's books help us keep track of these details. Our chapter portfolio and book awards wouldn't be possible without the generosity of the Oregon Department of Agriculture. Please join me in thanking them.
The Advanced Portfolio Contest allows students to showcase their achievements in a real-world format. Open to juniors and seniors, the portfolio contains in-depth supervised agricultural experience documentation and a complete list of their FFA activities. In addition, it also includes academic achievements and a list of non-FFA related activities. These members are well-rounded students and certainly deserve recognition. And now for the results. Receiving bronze, from Riverside, Kaylee Christie. From Lost River, Taya Ongman. From Myrtle Point, Shelby Thomas. Receiving silver, from Dallas, Emma Lowry. From St. Paul, Sumani Izquierdo. From Mohawk, Alexis Robinson. Receiving gold, from Bend, Alexis Everest. From Joseph, Kaylee Johnson. And receiving first place, from Banks, Robbie Harris. The Beginning Portfolio Contest allows a student to showcase their accomplishments as young members in a real-world format. Open to freshmen and sophomores, the portfolio contains supervised agricultural experience documentation and a complete list of their FFA involvement. It also includes academic achievements and a list of non-FFA related activities. These members may just be starting out, but they are already well on their way. And now for the results. Receiving bronze, from Myrtle Point, Phineas Weeks. From Sandy, Reagan Schwenk. From Pendleton, Abby Wilkes. From Crook County, Bailey Forsyth. Receiving silver, from Banks, Kylie George. From Joseph, Livia DeMello. From Silverton, Chase Stoddard. And receiving first place and gold, from Mohawk, Addison Barodiff. As they exit the stage, let's give our Beginning Portfolio competitors a round of applause. Though bookkeeping may not be one of the most glorious tasks, any of these members would tell you that serving the greater good doesn't always look glamorous. The treasurer's book must be created in a way that adds value to the chapter and includes an accurate record of receipts and disbursements. The members have worked hard, incredibly hard, and we commend them for their dedication. And now for the results. Receiving bronze, Mohawk. Silverton. Bend. Central. Redmond. Scio. Receiving gold, Elgin. Vale. And receiving first place, Imbler. As they exit the stage, let's give a round of applause to our Treasurer's Book competitors.
Serving as the chapter secretary is a big job, and the secretary's book is evidence of that. The secretary book is a working document and is key to running a chapter smoothly. Points are awarded based on completeness, accuracy, quality, neatness, spelling, grammar, and the documentation of the minutes. While some may shy away from this arduous task, these secretaries understand what it means to work hard and serve the greater good. And now for the results. Receiving bronze, Nissa. Mount Angel, Yamhill Carlton, Hermiston, Riverside, and Malala. Receiving silver, North Clackamas. Vale. Bend. Lost River. Henley. And Baker. Receiving gold, Scio. Mohawk, Imbler, Central, and Silverton. And receiving first place, Redmond. As they exit the stage, let's congratulate our Secretary Book competitors.
FFA has helped me be the greatest because it's given me a place and a community, helped me feel like I had a thing. It's given me a space to grow and create and a family I never thought I had.
Once again, receiving gold for our secretary's book, Mohawk. Imbler. Central. Silverton. And receiving first place, Redmond. As they exit the stage, let's congratulate our Secretary's Book competitors. The chapter scrapbook is truly a work of art and must include a picture of the entire chapter and chapter officer team. Points are awarded for organization, completeness, quality, spelling, creativity, and usefulness of information. One day, members will be able to look back on their time in the Blue Jacket as they flip through the pages of these scrapbooks, and the hard work put into these will be enjoyed for years to come. And now, for the results. Receiving bronze, Sheridan. Riverside. Hepner. Hillsborough. Dallas. Receiving silver, Forest Grove. Canby. Scio. Rogue River. Hidden Valley. Redmond. Imbler. Douglas. Sandy. Joseph. Receiving golds, Lebanon. Silverton. And receiving first place, St. Paul. As they exit the stage, let's congratulate our chapter scrapbook competitors. Our generation may be referred to as the tech generation, but that isn't always a negative connotation, especially in regards to agriculture. The technology scrapbook tells the story of a chapter in a timeless way and is presented in a slideshow format. A picture of the entire chapter must be included, and point evaluation is made on the basis of neatness, accuracy, completeness, and attractiveness. And now for the results. Receiving bronze, Vale. Bonanza. Hepner. Banks. Madras. Malala. Redmond. Receiving silver, Imbler. Crane. Silverton. North Clackamas. Mohawk. Eagle Point. Receiving gold, St. Paul. Central. Union. And receiving first place, Perrydale. As they exit the stage, let's congratulate our technology scrapbook competitors. Let's get one more huge round of applause for all of our Chapter Book Award recipients, as well as our generous award sponsor, the Oregon Department of Agriculture.
Man, those chapter books required a lot of self-discipline to keep such accurate record.
The work that was put into them is truly inspiring.
Well, I think we've done everything possible to prepare for that obstacle course.
I think you mean we've done almost everything. You're forgetting one very important step when it comes to preparing for a challenge.
Really? What is it?
Hype music! Give me a beat! I wanna be the greatest, but wait, breaking news, it's the latest. Life can get hard and they try to stop you from going too far. But when you're feeling down and out, you gotta get back up and stay on route. Sometimes you wanna just scream and shout, but that ain't how you do it. You gotta push through it, gotta stay disciplined and just do it.
Dang, Camille, that was straight fire. Now, I feel ready for anything. Speaking of getting ready,
let's get ready to hear from a few individuals who are going to introduce our next speaker. Please help me welcome Isabella Warg, Kane Johnson, and Caleb Beachy to the podium.
Even though Mary's from Joseph, I didn't really get to know her until district leadership camp this year. Once I really got to know her, I learned what an amazing and kind person and leader she is. Coming from such a small town, in the same town I am from, she has been an inspiration by proving that no matter where you are from, you can accomplish anything you set your mind to.
Mary has always exuded kindness. From the moment I met her, I knew she would be someone I looked up to. Her passion for service and kind-heartedness towards members is inspirational. She'll never leave someone out and will always ask you how your day is going. The time I have spent with Mary has made me better and has motivated me to progress as a leader and strive for greatness. She is truly a perfect example of being the greatest. Mary, in my eyes, was made to be a state officer. She has truly changed Oregon FFA for the better.
Courageous, caring, and kind. A few words that describe Mary. As long as I can remember, Mary has been the kind of person to help out whenever and wherever, even if it puts her in a difficult situation. She's a potato farmer, philosopher, artist, and most importantly, a leader. Watching Mary walk out on that stage after being selected as the Oregon State Sentinel was one of the proudest moments of my life. One more thing you all should know is she could never have done it without me. I'm truly proud and honored to call Mary a friend. Oregon FFA,
we are proud to produce our friend and leader from back home, your 2023-2024 State Sentinel, Mary Teal.
There are times when you might feel aimless and can't see the places where you belong, but you will find that there is a purpose. It's been there within you all along, and when you're near it, you can almost hear it. It's like a symphony. Just keep listening, and pretty soon you'll start to figure out your part. Everyone plays a piece, and there are melodies in each one of us. Oh, it's glorious.
I'm 8, standing in the middle of rows of potatoes, a blissful breeze blowing at my back. It's just me, my 3 older sisters, and my dad, and I am miserable. In the far reaches of northeastern Oregon, the summers are hot, but the growing season is short, making water an important and contested resource. For as long as I can remember, I have always spent these summers on my family's farm. Tonight, I am wishing for harvest to come, signaling the end of my least favorite chore, moving irrigation pipe. I make my way across the field with my sister with the next line to set. My small hands are gripping onto large gloves. My arms start to droop, and I struggle to keep up with her pace. But most importantly, my boots don't fit. As I lift my leg up and over the next mound, I leave my left boot behind. And before I realize what's happening, my sock squelches in the mud. Instead of letting go of the pipe, I take another step to steady myself, only for my right sock to land in a mass of vines. I finally throw the pipe down in frustration, drawing my sister's attention. I fully submit to the mud and plop down on the ground. I am an immovable force, to the point where my sister has to go and fetch my dad. He leaves the equipment he's been working on and kneels next to me. I hate this, Dad. I can see that. But Mary, this is an important task, he tells me. I know this is getting frustrating, but I'm going to need you to have a little bit of grit. It'll take some effort, but you can become stronger if you do. Get up and keep going. I look away from his face and consider his advice, but in all honesty, I have no idea what the word grit means. I sink further into the mud and cry. Maybe you have been in a situation like this at some point in your life. When push came to shove, were you able to stand on your own 2 feet? Or you look at others with a whole lot more to balance in their lives and wonder if we have what it takes to become like that. In small moments, the challenge may seem insurmountable, but there is more purpose to our challenges than we may realize. When I hear the word grit now, I am transported to the soil pits where I spent my sophomore year, a place where grit was a classification my advisor taught me to determine. What I missed from my dad's advice all those years ago was its other meaning. Grit is an unyielding courage in the face of hardship. When I think of this definition, I'm reminded of some of the people who inspire me the most. My dad, who works morning, noon, and night to provide for those in his care. My advisor and her family, who love fiercely and work hard to care for one another. My grandma, who despite having no background in agriculture, married a generational potato farmer from Idaho. Though she was raised in a Catholic boarding school, she left what she knew and discovered a life richer and far more difficult than the one she left behind. When my grandparents were first married, all my grandma owned was her delicate California clothing and her daily heels. They lived in a smaller trailer house near one of the fields the family worked. Their first acquisition? A cow. Sturdy and with enough milk to pay for groceries, you never would have guessed that she was a menace. With one horn pointing an accusing finger at the heavens and the other wrapping around a lazy eye, Goofy found ways to make escape an art. One day, my grandpa left soon after milking, which is exactly when Goofy decided to make her move. My grandma was drying dishes when she looked out to see the deep hoof prints Goofy was leaving on the top of the landlord's potato cellar. She grabbed an extra pair of my grandpa's boots and rushed outside the door without a second thought. Goofy kept on heading straight, not a care in the world, especially not for the lady in the floral dress and muck boots. Steeling herself, my grandma picked up a stick from the ground and with all of her animalistic might, beat the stick on the ground and snarled at the creature. I don't know who was more stunned, my grandma or the cow. Deciding that freedom was no longer worth it, Goofy turned around the way she had come, right back over the potato cellar and through the gate. While telling this story, my grandma likes to joke that she should have invited Goofy to tea, and then she would have known the proper thing to do. Instead, she faced down something that would become a defining challenge in her life. My grandma, Eileen Teal, saw that she was much more capable than she realized and gained confidence to stand up to the trials of farm life. What my grandma could not have known is that by deciding to put herself in a demanding situation, she was both physically and mentally increasing her capacity to do harder things in the future. Neuroscience tells us that we have a special part of our brains reserved for tenacity and willpower. When we push our comfort zones, such as trying a physical challenge, having a difficult conversation, or sticking with a new skill, this part of our brain physically grows. What is one thing that you believe is holding you back from who you could be? The person who has done the competitions or talked to the people that a better version of you would. I'll tell you a secret. That version of you is much more attainable than you think. Becoming that person will take time. It will take challenging yourself in ways that challenge who you are now. Yet, if we keep coming back for more each time we fail, our brains will physically transform to meet the task. My grandma had no idea if Goofy would turn or instead decide to charge her head on. She took a risk, and it paid off. My grandma exercised grit. Never be afraid to let anyone see you try. Sign up for that competition that you've always wanted to do. Ask your advisor if they could find a place for you to raise an animal. Talk to others about what you are passionate about. It can be easy to be hard on ourselves rather than the problem that we are facing. Along with grit, we will need to have grace, especially with ourselves. One of the only things we have control over in life is our effort. When we exercise it, we can guarantee that no matter the outcome, we will emerge stronger, wiser, and more determined than who we were before. I'm 16, standing in the middle of rows of carrots, a blissful breeze blowing at my back. It's just me, the land, and the sweet smell of a summer night. And I am drenched. Water is shooting into the starry sky, erasing any traces of mud that had accumulated on my face. For the past week, I've spent my time taking care of my family's farm while my dad is on a trip to Utah. My most important responsibility is to make sure that the crops are watered. Before working a shift at the local ice cream shop, I moved the hand pipe that we use to irrigate our fields. When I'm done, I whip up something to eat and head out the set pipe for the next 12-hour rotation. In this particular field, we use hydrants to access our irrigation water. If something isn't screwed back together correctly or a ground squirrel somehow plugs it up, it can cause a blowout. Imagine a fire hydrant blowing out and flooding the entire neighborhood. This is how I found myself. Soaked, face raw, and cleaner than it had been in weeks. I rushed to get the pieces cleared out and put back together. Reaching into the hydrant attachment after peeling off my gloves, I sweep out a dead squirrel. Fighting through the geyser, I twist the valve shut until all that's left of the torrent is a trickle. In the silence, I feel the warmth of the night. The sound of crickets drift into the air. Before my clothes start to dry, I stand up and I finish moving the rest of the line. Though I didn't realize it then, I now understand how important my dad's advice was. This is one of the sprinkler heads from the farm that I grew up on. To me, it represents the grit, determination, and willingness to grow through failure that we pay for success. The challenges we face won't just be a cow getting out. It's going to be a disappointing result, a rejection or a loss. But when we do succeed, then we have the chance to challenge ourselves in new ways, becoming better by using what we know and being willing to learn what we don't. Oregon FFA, there is a bright and exciting future ahead of you. There are things that are meant for you that you do not have the ability to grasp just yet. But bit by bit, as we turn to face our challenges, we get one step closer to becoming who we are meant to be. With tenacity, grace, and a little bit of grit, we can accomplish whatever we set out to do. The things we must do are never easy. They are never over, but are always worth it.
And grow as we go. Grow as we go. Grow as we go. Grow as we go.
Mary, when I first met you, was at Southern Oregon District Leadership Camp, and oh my gosh, was it fun. At first, I was scared, but we immediately hit it off the first day of camp. Since then, you have been there through every up and down as my time as a chapter officer, or even when I just needed to vent. You have helped me become the sentinel that I am today. Also, I love our conversations about the funny animal videos. You have inspired everybody around you through your time as a state officer. As you take this next step, you will make new memories, new experiences, but also have new challenges. However, you're an amazing person, and you will leave such a wonderful impact on the world. Mary, thank you for everything you do for Oregon FFA.
I met Mary during the interview process for the Eastern Oregon District Office. While most of us were fidgety and full of fluttering nerves, Mary had a calm sense about her. I was not the only one who could look at her aura and find comfort in her controlled presence. By being calm, she was able to help others channel their own tranquility. While being on the Eastern Oregon team with her, I was able to get to know her personality even better. Mary is a person who I truly look up to, a person who continues to help motivate me to be a stronger leader and friend. While getting to know Mary, I was able to see the kind, generous, and outgoing individual she truly is. I knew that when becoming a state officer, she would impact everyone around her just as she had done to me. Mary, thank you for your nurturing nature, your selfless actions, and above all, your unwavering faith. I can't wait to see what you do in the next chapter of your life. Thank you for serving Oregon FFA.
Mary, you are truly one of a kind. Thank you for your genuine heart, for always being down to get Thai food, and for never failing to make us smile. Love, Kylie, Alicia, Dale, Ryan, and Camille. Oregon FFA, your 2023-2024 State Sentinel, Miss Mary Teal.
And grow as we go. Grow as we go. Grow as we go. Grow as
FFA has helped me be the greatest, from learning how to drive equipment to welding and becoming the leader in a situation without a leader.
Wow, Camille, we have done a lot today. We heard from Mr. TJ Colson, we recognized our Alumni Council, we gave out Alumni Council awards, we announced the results of sophomore public speaking, we awarded Washington Leadership Conference scholarships, and even met our national chapter award recipients.
And we didn't stop there. Then we heard a keynote address from your National FFA President, Amara Jackson, presented our chapter, portfolio, and book awards, and heard the retiring address of your Oregon FFA State Sentinel, Miss Mary Teal, titled Quality Grit.
All of these people have truly shown the value of self-discipline when it comes to being the greatest, and none of it would have been possible without our session's star partner, Demeter Ag.
We have learned a lot of important lessons about using self-discipline to overcome obstacles. And if you ask me, you're ready to take on this obstacle one last time. You up for it?
I'll do my best.
On your marks, get set, go! Ryan, that was awesome. I'm so glad we didn't give up earlier, even when we were tired.
Me too. We were able to stick with it and overcome this obstacle and meet all of our goals. Now, I feel ready for the FFA Olympics and anything life has to throw at me.
Oregon FFA, think back to the obstacle we identified earlier in the session. How can we implement self-discipline into our lives to help us overcome it?
Be sure to join us tonight at 6 o'clock to keep getting in on the action and continue learning how to be the greatest. But until then,
no matter who you are,
where you're at,
or what you do,
be the greatest.
I should have been a cowboy. I should have learned to roll ride. Wearing my 6-shooter, riding my pony on a cat and drive. Stealing a young girl's hearts.
Proficiency Award Practice will begin soon. Proficiency Award Practice will begin soon. All district winners or a chapter representative must attend. If this applies to you, please stay in the session hall. Thank you.